Hello, it is Chrisoula Sirigou, the Golden Muse, and another 10-minute holistic master call. On today's call, I've got my guest, Sue Ritchie. Hello, Sue.
Hello, Chrisoula.
So, Sue Ritchie has been on my radio shows, the health and healing shows, broadcasting every Thursday between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. on Ritchie Radio. Also, Sue, you've been to a number of my events as a speaker, as a contributor, and we have become really really get to know each other. We really value what we're bringing to this world. So when I thought about nutrition and how you as a woman, or even as a man, this master call is dedicated to both men and women. But since we women talking to you, that you're going to be watching back this. Have you ever felt being sort of not happy with where you are? Have you ever felt sort of that there's more? There's some more for you? Have you felt lethargic? Like a lack of vitality? Really not enjoying life because of where you are at this point, where of your work or all the commitments you've got, everything like up in the air, trying to figure out how to put yourself somewhere in all of this. So have you ever felt that you haven't, where are you in the whole system, in the whole life you're leading? Where are you in the scale? Do you put yourself first or do you put yourself last? So Sue has been part of this roller coaster.
Unfortunately, yes.
And Sue is the author of Love Your Gut. Does it? Can you see that? Love Your Gut. And the practical guide to sustainable weight loss from the inside out. So you've been in this sort of having this issue with your health, with not feeling fulfilled, happy, healthy. You also had the issue of being overweight with low energy, and that had a major impact on the success of your business. And then you realized that things had to change. So what happened then, Sue was diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, and her doctor told her that she will be on medication forever. Knowing what Sue is like, she said, oh no, I'm not going to go through that path. I'm not going to rely on medicine for the rest of my life. So what did she do? She got enthusiastic about taking control and looking after herself. And saying, okay, I need to take care of myself. I need to take control of my own health. So how did you do that? You change your lifestyle, so big time. So but the most important thing is addressing the root cause of your health. And if there's any weight issues, what we're going to discuss on this master call is you need to look after your gut and change the way that you see life as well. So it's not only the nutrition side of it that we're going to be talking about, but also some other tips that will be really, really valuable for you to take on board. And if you are in that happy place, that everything is okay with you, everything you feel is okay, and you don't need to change anything, you don't feel, there's anything that you need to move, shift, or transform, okay, you could be there, fantastic. If that's the case, you may feel that there's somebody else in your life very close to you. It could be a colleague, it could be a friend, it could be a member of your family, that they may, sort of feel unhappy with their weight, or feel unhappy where we are in their emotional life or with their work. And something needs to change. So from that point of view, you've got somebody here. Sue is truly passionate about helping you to be able to transform your health, so that you can live your life to the full. So this is the book that you may like to connect with Sue and actually purchase the book from her website, or you may like to come in and connect with Sue, because there are so many events that she's going to actually speaking engagements and workshops and courses she's running herself. Right, so that's a little bit of introduction about my guest today, and I'm delighted because it's going to be really fascinating what we're going to share with you today. So if we start by the very first thing, Sue, which is something that affects most women in the 21st century for many years actually now, it's not just a new thing, that we don't actually put ourselves first. It's a common thing that we love so much. We have so much love for everybody else, but what we're lacking sometimes is what we call self-love. And you felt that, and I have felt that in my life too. And I have had a health crisis before, and I know what is going on. So we are both talking from first-hand experience. It's not just something we read and we say, okay, come on. We try to make you feel motivated, enthusiastic about your own health and life. Okay, so Hashimoto's disease. So take us back where you felt. What is the key ingredient to when you realize that something is wrong? Like you felt your body is not responding. What is the first things that you realized about yourself?
It was really that the first thing I realized was just feeling absolutely tired and exhausted. And I've always been somebody who's had loads of energy, always rushing about, doing stuff all the time, yes. Wanting to be busy, wanting to be active. And I was just finding that, I just couldn't really do it. And, and I was trying to run a business at the same time. But also had a lot of other things that were going on as well, because I had real problems with brain fog and not being able to focus and concentrate on stuff. And, I've always had a brilliant memory. I used to work years ago in a publishing company, and I could remember the ISBN numbers of all the top selling books that we had. But I was like finding myself, thinking I'd put something somewhere and I couldn't find it. And there were literally days when I actually thought, am I going mad here? Am I really going barking mad? What's going on? I had pain. I couldn't walk very much. I had pains in my joints. Sometimes I had breathing problems, digestive problems, bloating, wind, and, and I was overweight and, about 2.5 stone heavier than I am now. And, I was like eating healthily according to, what most people thought then was, a healthy diet, exercising. But why, it was like, why can't I lose weight? Why is it so impossible? And it was always so frustrating because, if you went to an event and you have with your friends and that, and you take these photographs and then you look at them afterwards and you go, oh my God, is that me, that fat blob?
I know the thing is.
And it was like, and everybody else is all slim and nice and everything. And
image is important, isn't it? Feeling good about yourself is important. But the key thing that it is important to talk about, and I believe that with all my heart, is how much do you actually value yourself? How much do you actually feel that you're worthy of time dedicated to you, space just for you to relax and recharge, and even do something without having to justify yourself, just something because you deserve it. And this is the foundation of your work as well, Sue, because you help with your programs to cleanse, to revitalize, to replenish, and get back your energy and release weight. But what for me the fundamental is, if you don't start from, do I actually deserve to feel better? And do what can I do to feel better, and then create that space at that time, or invest in your own well-being. And this is where you're coming from, Sue.
Absolutely. And for me, it was, a major change for me to do that, because I've spent all of my life, on this treadmill, working long hours, looking after everybody else. And about 6 years ago, I got to a point where I just felt that there was nothing in my life that was good. I felt crap. I felt unfulfilled. I felt physically horrible, fat. And, my life didn't, there was no time for me to do anything that I loved. Over the years, I sort of given up on, hobbies. I'm quite creative. I like sewing. I like painting. I like my photography. I go out and take pictures. And slowly all of these things have sort of just gone out of my life. And it really was just work or looking after everybody else, and no time for me at all. And what happens is that, and yet I knew inside of me that there was something more that I wanted to do. There was this little seed, I can't explain how it feels, but I'm sure other people will understand it, that, there's more to life than this.
There's this belief, absolutely. Yeah. So once you follow this nudge, this voice, this, the seed that is already in there, that every single one of you got it. It's not like something that, I've got or Sue's got, and it's very sort of just only a prerogative for a few. Every single one of you got this belief that, you're worth it. You're worth of every single laughter, joy, everything, the beauty, to enjoy life. So this is that's your divine right, if you like, but divine birthright. Let me just put it like that, to live life in joy. So the next thing is, it's actually the next step forward is when you say, okay, you identify where you are. You say, okay, I've got to do something. You ask for help, and you believe that this is the best way forward for you. So what's the next thing? It's not. I think this is not enough, is it?
It isn't. I think that the key thing is, and I think there's an amazing magic, is actually investing in yourself. Investing in the help that you need to get yourself out of the problem that you're in. Because believe me, you can waste, I don't know how many years trying to do something on your own, struggling, not really getting, moving forward, and you just get drawn down more and more because you're just going round and round in circles. And, for me, but also what I see with the clients that I'm working with as well, is that when you invest in yourself and you invest in some help for somebody to help you to get out of the situation you're in, it's incredible, and I can't explain it, but some sort of magic just starts to happen, and other things start to shift and change in your life. It's really when you say to the universe, I'm worth it, and the universe goes, yes, you are. And everything then, comes together and starts to help to move things and start shift things in your life, so that you can really get on the road to recovering from your health. But also, for me, it was starting to really live my life again. Because, to be honest, I could just say that I probably was just like existing day to day.
Right.
And that's not a good place for anybody to be, and we don't need to be there either. That's not what.
And then this is not your best version, is it? We are here to live life to the best version of who we are. And if we're not feeling good inside, how can we possibly bring out our best? There's no way to do that. So, and also, how can we enjoy life with our family members, with our close friends, with the community, with the world, and enjoy work we do, enjoy the hobbies, and then it's not possible. So everything starts from you. Everything starts from you. And over the work you do is not only the outside thing, you help, with your housekeeping, your house tidy, or the clothes you wear, but it's actually the inside work you do. Like that's what we were saying here with Sue. How much you start valuing yourself and believing that there's something better for you. So from that, and then it's the commitment you actually say to yourself, nobody else. It's a commitment to you. So starting from that, this is the foundation. So now the next thing we're going to move to is the change that you need to make, depending on if you are either issues with hormonal imbalances, or issues with Hashimoto's disease, or even issues. It could be thyroid issues as well, or it could be issues with connect with your gut.
And also other autoimmune diseases as well.
Yes, another autoimmune disease, which is related to stress, related to not feeling good about where you are at this point in time. So much is being said about gluten-free diet, and I'm not the only one who's perplexed about this, Sue. I'm sure there must be so many other people who will be watching this back, and then they will say, what is going on, this gluten-free? You know, this is just a new fashion. This is just a new way. And so much is being said that I don't know what to believe and not know what not to believe. And also how much gluten can affect our health when we're going through this, if we have any issues with like Hashimoto's or any autoimmune diseases.
Well, certainly for people with Hashimoto's disease, it is absolutely essential that you don't eat gluten or dairy either, because the key thing is that the molecular structure of gluten and also casein, which is in dairy products, is very, very similar to the thyroid gland. So if you've already got inflammation going on in the body, which you will have, what happens is when you eat gluten or you eat dairy, what's happening is that when you're doing that, your body is on red alert, if you like, and it sees those things as the enemy. But the autoimmune system is tricked. So it basically thinks that when you eat gluten, that it needs to go and that's your thyroid gland, and it needs to go and attack it. Right. And that's what actually, has this effect on the thyroid gland with Hashimoto's, making it underactive. But for a lot of people these days, people find particularly gluten in processed foods, and processed foods really are a big issue for health overall for anybody and everybody today. We really should be focusing on having a natural diet with protein and vegetables and fruits, rather than going for those the quick easy things, if you like, that people think are quick and easy to make, that we grab off the shelf, that's already prepared and processed, and you can just bung it in the microwave and heat it up. But I think that one of the things that's quite sad is that we've got into this mode of we're so busy all the time that we're trying to, we're hungry, so we just grab something quickly to fulfill that hunger without actually thinking about what am I actually putting in my body and what is it actually doing to me. And that again is part of loving yourself. Because when you love yourself, you love your body, you want to treat it in the best way that you can, because your body is doing everything it can for you to really function optimally.
Yes.
But when you're not feeding it properly and you're not taking care of it, it really struggles to actually be able to to do that. So for me, I think it's all about priorities and
choices.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely. And when making yourself your priority, but making your health your number one priority, because what, let's face it, without your health and without energy, there's not a lot that you can really be achieving in life.
No.
And it makes it very difficult. And I'm sure, everybody and people who are listening, you've all got dreams, of something that you want to be doing in your life, or how you want to be living your life when you get older and you're in your retirement. But the problem is that isn't going to happen unless you take control of your health now and really make that your number one priority, because you're worth it.
Yes.
And for me as well, as a woman, if we talk about women, but this also applies to men as well, is that when we look after ourselves properly, we pass that on to our children. Not what we say that children learn from, it's how we behave that children learn from.
Yes.
And we're seeing so many children now at a very young age with illnesses and type 2 diabetes and things like that. But that's all to do with with the food that we're eating. So it's important that we make the good choices for ourselves to be healthy and eat well, but we want to be able to teach our children as well that that's the way to do it, and it's important. And I think particularly, if you've got daughters as well, this is one of the most valuable things to teach them, is that you are really worth it. You need to respect yourself, take care of yourself, put yourself first. Because
and cook together, make it really fun, and include your children in the cooking process, and make it like a family thing, rather see it as a drag, like a, I mean, like, oh, I have to do that again, but just, bring more of that element of fun in your life. And I think that's also part of leading a happy life, a joyful life. So yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you, Sue. And of course, what we're eating, it has an impact on what we call our gut, and probably because it's not something we can see. I mean, some people say, "Oh, we're going to look after your skin because it's something you can touch, you can feel, you can see." But what's happening in your inside, you haven't got any conscious sort of reaction to it. You don't know what's happening inside. So when you carry on eating things and drinking things that actually can affect your gut seriously, but again, you don't know whether it's actually gut related. You haven't got any idea that your gut is leaking, and then it's not healthy. That's another area that Sue and your book, also Sue, Love Your Gut, is another area that you have dedicated in there, because and then I was talking about this at the World Book Day recently, that we actually got 3 brains. That's part of the education awareness I would like to bring to the world, because you may have heard that before, you may not, but apart from our, basically, the brain that we've got, which is our mind and our thinking sort of machine, if you like, thinking engine, we've got another brain that is actually our heart, which is connects with our head. These two, they are connected, and the third brain is our gut. And if your gut is not healthy, it affects the way you're thinking. It affects your clarity. It affects many things. So Sue, what would you say about the priorities? If we're going to start with something to help our gut, what would that be?
Ooh, wow. I think certainly changing the way you eat, and making sure that you're eating natural, unprocessed foods is really important. Sugar and refined carbs are really damaging our gut health quite significantly. Yeah. We're really going through, as one of the top scientists and doctors said, we're going through a the biggest nutritional experiment since the 1950s at the moment, because over the last sort of 30-40 years, our diets have changed so dramatically. It used to be, in our grandparents' day, meat and 2 veg or whatever was what we had, what we were eating, and things like fruits as well. We only ate fruits when they were in season.
Yes.
And of course now, they get flown in from all around the world, so we can eat this huge range of fruits any day of the week. But the reality is that fruits are high in sugar as well. Mm-hmm. So we probably shouldn't be eating as much fruits as we are. But yeah, we should be eating it, but not, the 5 a day shouldn't be just all fruit. It should be vegetables as well.
Yes. Yes.
But so those are the key things, really. But the other factor that impacts the gut is stress, very, very strongly. And we're all leading really stressful lives, and I know that because I was very, very prone to having being stressed all the time, rushing around and whatever. But one of the life changes I had to make was actually to manage that better, and do things like meditation and stuff on a regular basis, because that is just so important in terms of just it's good for the mind, but it actually calms everything down in your body as well, which is of a huge benefit.
Yes, meditation, absolutely. It's like if you're allowed 10 minutes a day, 10, 15 minutes a day, But I think it's also very much about being systematic about it. So whatever that, I think that's another thing I'd like us to add on this before we finish this master call today. It's actually whatever you do, have a system, like a practice or whatever you want to call it. Some people call it ritual. Some people call it like a dedicated time where it's for you. You connect with yourself, because there's so many things happening out there. We're bombarded with so many contrasts and life experiences and people's opinions and what's happening in the world, and then somehow we're losing ourselves in it. And then of course we get really stressed and anxious and worried about it. And then of course that affects our hormones. We cannot just not be affected by what's happening in our lives. And then the body will feel it. And the gut is part of us that if we're not looking after it, if it's leaking, that's the word, the term you use, Sue.
Yeah, leaky gut, that's the one.
If your gut is leaking, you may say to yourself, so how do I know this? So if people, they feel that it could be whatever they're experiencing physically or emotionally even, because your gut can affect your emotions, because you can be moody, very, irritated easily. You cannot tolerate things, things that really get on your nerves very easily. And this is not the best you, believe me. So this is something that Sue can help you. And Sue, you're actually launching something new next week.
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's a 21-day program, which is really it's going to be called the Core Cleanse, and this is actually not like any other program out there, because it's not only will it help you cleanse the toxins out of your body, which is really important because toxins are a big factor in gut health as well. So you're going to feel more energy, you're going to have better mental clarity, you're going to boost your immune system, you're going to your hair and your nails and your skin and everything's going to feel more lovely as well, and you're going to look better than you probably looked all year. But the key difference is that what it's doing is actually it's going to be balancing the microbiome, and that's the microbiome in your gut, which all the research and everything is now showing is one of the biggest fundamental things that underpins whether we're going to be very healthy or whether we're going to head towards disease. So having that opportunity to really, well, I suppose it's like being tuning up, isn't it? Like, if you go and have a service or whatever, you tune up the engine of your car. So I would say, in many ways, that's what my program is there. It's about retuning everything, getting you revved up, so that you've got more energy, you've got more mental clarity. And what better time than the spring for us to start doing that, get our bodies ready for when the clothes come off in the summer and we're going on our holidays, and we want to look our best and feel our best by putting ourselves first, so that we can show up in our best version of ourselves for everybody around us, our family, our children, our partners, husbands, or whatever, friends. And things like that.
Brilliant. Yes. So we will be, I will be designing a blog article dedicated to this master call with Sue Ritchie, and all the information, a breakdown, if you like, of what we discussed here on the call will be included in this blog article, in this write-up, with also details how you can connect with Sue. But at this point, Sue, it'd be good if you share your website address.
Yep, which is www.sue-ritchie.com.
Fantastic. So again, all of that will be the video will be uploaded on YouTube, and then the link to Sue's website address, the video call, and the blog article all will be part of it. It will be found on my website, chrisoulasirigou.com or goldennews.eu. And Sue, I will look forward to seeing you very soon. Sue is actually part of, she has been part of the monthly live holistic calls for almost over the year now, that I host on the second Monday every month. And April is dedicated to spring. And of course, it's all about rebirthing, re-energizing, cleansing, and finding ways how to feel more naturally uplifted and more naturally energetically you. So look forward to seeing you very soon, and also to connecting with all of you who are actually going to be watching back, either through the online, virtually over a cup of tea, or when you meet up in an event, in person, live event. And there's so much more is happening. So keep in touch, and all the information you can find also on my website and Sue's website. Okay. Thank you so much, Sue. I really enjoyed our chat today. Lovely, inspiring conversations.
It's been lovely, and sending lots of love to everybody who's going to be listening to this, and yes. Really do value yourself. It's the number one thing that we all have to do. It's so important.
Yes, absolutely. And I like to end with there's so much love out there for you, and there's so much love out here for you too. So, okay. Bye for now from me and Sue.